What is up, YouTube? We are back with top tier. I still don't know if I'm doing top tier and then top 10 its own video, but we are here. Let's get into it. Before we do, of course, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, ring the bell. Aight, let's go. So this is what we have already for the high tier. If you missed the explanations, you can go watch the videos that are in the corner. Sorry, I spoiled you, but that's okay. So for the lowest character in top tier, we have Mr. Cloud. Strife Spargo's been doing ridiculously well. The resurgence of this character is super high. I don't think he's super broken. I don't think he's like top 10. Again, this is like 25, 26, 27, something like that. The one flaw of this character is sometimes he gets edge guarded, but also none of the Clouds are getting edge guarded. I don't know if that means everyone's bad, including myself, and he should be getting edge guarded, or the recovery is just hard to mess with. The buff back in like 7.1 or something like that was huge to make his up B grab the ledge faster. That buff was so important. He has one of the best moves neutral in the game in terms of back air. He has great empty jumps. He does so much damage. His advantage state's really good. His edge trapping is pretty good because he has just back air. He's just gonna spam back air. I don't think he's like top 10. I don't think he's super broken. I think there are plenty of characters that can deal with him. It's just also Spargo is better than most people. That kid is so good. It doesn't make sense. Great platform pressure. He's good on like every stage except for FD, and you just ban FD. He beats every zoner except for maybe Min Min. He's a good secondary. He's pretty simple. He's really strong, and of course then Limit exists. That's really good for him. You know, it's also really good. Sheik's forward air. Sheik is top tier. She's fast. She does a ton of damage. She has a bunch of kill confirms. She is the character, in my opinion, by far, with the best slingshotting in the game. She, in my opinion, rose like 10 to 15 spots because of slingshotting, because she is a character that can benefit off of just a flick shot, because she has B reverse needles, she has being able to hold shot and do fair. Her damage output's ridiculous. She does so much damage. Needles are so stupid. Forward air is really good. She can camp. The needles are amazing. She has good kill confirms because she has like upper up smash on platforms, up air down smash, upper forward smash, combos to go into those. But she has 50-50s. She has jab now tilt up air. She can kill. She has bouncing fish. Again, if you're not getting hit by some of those setups, then yeah, she can struggle to kill, but at the same time, she just has needles. She can just poke needles at you for forever. I think she does lose to trading. If you just run at her and try to hit buttons on her, she does struggle a little bit. She has random losing matchups like Ice Climbers and Pac-Man. Well, granted, Pac-Man's really good. Ice Climbers like beat this character up. I think there's a lot of randomly not easy matchups for Sheik, but at the same time, just play better. Like, Sheik is one of those characters with like super high potential, but I think even right now, like 25, top 26 is a good spot for her. I think she's a really strong character. This is probably the lowest I've ever put this character, but Lucina, listen, yes, I did see Proto, but Proto's been doing worse overall. He is a co-main, so just Lucina and just Min Min aren't going to be like, wow, they're so good. She's super fundamentals. She's a sword character. She doesn't have a ton of crazy combos. She doesn't have a ton of crazy anything, in my opinion, except for like shield breaker. But at the same time, you don't need super crazy stuff when you are Lucina and have like up air and back air and does great advantage state. The problem is, compared to other top tiers, she doesn't have a great disadvantage state. She doesn't have really good descending aerials, so you can kind of poke at her from below her pretty easily, and that means that getting off of the ledge for her isn't super good because she can't really ledge jump super effectively because you're gonna hit her for landing. And that's a big struggle. I think that's really important to me, considering how strong people's advantage states in today's day and age are. But at the same time, she's ridiculous. She can beat any character. There's no matchups that she has that's a -2. She has not a single -2. She's just -1s, evens, or winnings. So yeah, she's super good. The character that DaBuzz has downplayed for 17 years, Olimar. So hard to deal with. Side B plays the game for you because the opponent has to deal with Pikmin depending on where they're latched. He can camp, he can be aggressive, he can edge guard, he can edge trap. He can do literally everything except get off the ledge. Getting off the ledge for Olimar, if you don't have purple, is impossible because you actually just lose to hold shield. This character does have some losing matchups, struggles with some certain swords like Roy, and Cloud, and Pyramithra. If you get double purple, you're probably gonna win any matchup. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you're doing if you get double purple. Triple purple especially, oh my god. Great throws, the grab is okay, but like up smash out of shield deals 70. Why does up smash up or upper work? Who knows? ISDI it up, I hope. Character can struggle with some rushdown. I think loses to Fox, loses to Brawler, like a decent amount of losing matchups. But it's hard when the character is so obnoxious and just like, oh, you were wrong once. Forward smash at 50, you had 2 Pikmin on you, you're getting ledge trapped. Like, this character is so randomly explosive, it feels so hard to close out a game versus this character unless you are specifically like a top 10 player playing against DaBuzz. Like that's the only people. If you are a top 10 player, Olimar is high tier. If you are not a top 10 player, this character is top 5. Young Link, character's up. He's fast, he has arrow. He's not like super broken because he's not as oppressive as a lot of other characters because you can kind of just like jump and like kind of avoid what he's doing. But if you're trying to like rush down on Young Link, you're gonna have a bad time. If you're trying to blatantly camp Young Link to like explicitly win the camping game, you're gonna have a bad time. You have to play this like awkward, not letting him throw projectiles at you, kind of being in mid-range and like hope he like commits to like a grab or a forward air. But also, he has some of the safest frame data in the game for no reason. I think his aerials are overall the safest in the game. So first off, jab 2 is -7, don't know why. Down tilt's -7, so you can't shield grab it, which I don't know why people still do. Like, I literally watch Skittles. Every time he plays, he goes down tilt spot dodge, like 100% of the time, and everyone shield grabs it. Why do people do that? Just hold shield. -2, -3, -3, -2, -3, -9, and -12 or 11. Show them Rang on shield point blank. Isn't it like -4? Yeah. This character is really good. He just gets outclassed by some other top tiers, and that's kind of about it. Because I feel like he's really good. I don't even think he's that difficult. You just have to like camp a little bit more than you think probably when you're playing Young Link, and he's fine. Like, I think he's incredible. He's such a strong character. Also, I think slingshotting is actually broken for him because everything is like super safe, so he can just be like down tilt, slingshot, and then if you do something, just like fair down tilt, blah, blah, blah. But you know who's also good but not super broken? Zero Suit. Zero Suit does suck relative to what she was before, because she used to be top 5, then she got nerfed. Nair is now not super broken. Honestly, the biggest nerf was the boost kick nerf, because since it's frame 6, there's a lot more like weird hurt box shifting stuff around the uppie that even though it should punish a lot of stuff, it doesn't, because it pushes out of the way. I don't understand how to actually play this matchup. It's one of my personal worst matchups. So like Mars beats the fuck out of me. If you commit to timeout explicitly, if you are like, from go, I'm timing you out, she's top 10. Because it's impossible to hit her. I don't know what character can actually contest with her speed. But no one does that. So I'm not gonna count it. Because I'm not talking like, oh, if you always play the best you can ever play. Like, no. She does lose a ton of matchups, but at the same time, she's so explosive, and she can just play safe enough to the point where a lot of the characters that beat her, like PT, like Roy, like Chrom, can just not hit her. How do you hit her? And yeah, then she has stuff with slingshot because her nair and her up air is still like safe-ish. Character is really good, just not as broken as she used to be. So in my opinion, she sucks. You know who's better than Zero Suit? Friendship. Friendship is better than Zero Suit. Sora's better than Zero Suit. I think Sora's incredible. Sora's actually top 10. I know that when everyone is counterpicking Sora recently, they're losing, like Meister and Dabuz. That's because they're playing Sora against top 10 players that are beating them anyway. Their mains are losing. Gamewatch, who is much better than Sora, is losing, so he goes Sora. Olimar is who's here, and Rosa and Min Min, who's down here, are losing. The people are beating them anyway. Sora's fucking broken. Sora has some of the best combos in the game. If Meister or Dabuz had Ohana from, I think he's like New Jersey, if they had his combos, it's crazy. But there are secondary Soras in Japan as well, like Kamame's. Opana, yeah. Ohana means family. Opana is the combos are incredible. His neutral's really good. It's super hard to hit him. His edge guarding is some of the best in the game. It's hard to ledge trap him because he has Thunder to like hit you off stage and he can just stall forever. His recovery is really hard to mess with unless you're specific characters, in my opinion. This character is a sword character that's really mobile that combos you. Like he's the best comboing sword character in the game. It's just his neutral isn't as good and impressive as some other characters like Pyramithra or something like that. So in top 20, the first character I want to talk about is Suited Samus. She has like the simplest game plan in the game, but it is so effective. It is ridiculously effective. Charge shot is broken. Bomb is broken. Forward air, up air, her grab, her kill potential is so stupid. This character fucking murders you for no reason. You take 60 at 0% from getting hit by a projectile that beats all of your approach options. Half charge shot, which is like 29, into down throw back air. It does like 60 for no reason. Then you get ledge trapped. So you get ledge trapped, you take a bunch of damage, you die super early. She has nair and down air. It's really hard to advantage state her unless you're like specific characters like Lucina or Fox or Falco that can just jump up there and fuck with bomb. But bomb is so good for getting at a disadvantage as well. It's really hard to mess with because if you mess up once and you're overcommit just a little early, she's gonna get away. The amount of good players with this character is skyrocketing. You have Siski, who's the second best player in Europe. You have Teaser, who is like kind of running Georgia outside of Cola. It's like Cola, Didi, Teaser. He also does really well in Texas. Joker, the Samus from Mexico. You have good Samuses in Japan as well. Absolutely terrifying and loses some matchups, but like her game plan is so good and she is the best, the single best ledge trapper in the game. Yes, better than Steve. I think she has like 1 -2 and that's like Falco. We have yet another big demotion from my last tier list because I just view the game differently. A character that has won a major this year, Pokemon Trainer. I think that Pokemon Trainer has some not good matchups. A lot of Pokemon Trainer's wins rely on coming back with Charizard, which is not a fun place to be if you assume you're gonna lose. The mobility on Squirtle is ridiculous, but Ivysaur is still bad. I don't care how many people are losing to Quid's Ivysaur. Ivysaur is a really exploitable character with a bad grab that literally all you have to do when you fight Ivysaur is walk, shield, parry back air and forward air, and spot dodge grab. You know they're gonna grab, because if they don't grab and you dash away because you think they're gonna grab or you roll away, literally nothing happens. Charizard wins last hits. He's probably the best last hit character in the game in my opinion, or one of them at the very least. Maybe Steve is better. The frame 1 swap doesn't do enough, because even though it's frame 1 and it's invincible, it's really easy to hit. The character's game plan is too linear. The linear isn't broken enough to be better than this. Still really good, still there. Next up, I'm sorry, Ramses, is Shulk. Shulk, in theory, even kind of realistically, is top 5. Character has like 5 losing matchups. He has tools for literally everything. He cheats, he combos, he does all this crazy shit. He can invincibility through stuff. If you have a drag down combos don't work for him because he just switches arts and then you do your move and then he hits you for it. He can't deal with camping super easily, but at the same time, if you're camping Shulk, he's getting his arts back, so you don't really want to camp Shulk. He has some of the most explosive advantages in the game because of Smash Art, ridiculous anti-combo ability because of Smash Art and Shield Art. If he had the frame data, he would be the best character in the game, but he doesn't have the frame data. So characters that are like, can stay in his face can sometimes give him difficulty. You know what he wants to do. That doesn't mean you're gonna deal with it super well, but characters can. He has a lot of evens, in my opinion. I feel like people also fucking panic versus Smash Art like way too hard. Like people don't know how to camp against Shulk correctly and the arts that are scary for them. So they're just like, I'm gonna run in versus Smash Art, then they get upbeat and die. There's decent representation for this character. Because he's hard, it's less likely to play at peak because he's so difficult, but not difficult in a way that makes sense, in a way that's difficult of just like, oh, did you misuse one art? You lost a stock. Shulk's broken. You know who's also really hard to play? Wario. Gluto literally had the lowest opinion of his character ever, because he was like, yeah, this character's like still top 10 after the nerfs, and then main stage happened. And he like lost a couple events in Europe, and then he was like, Wario actually struggles with a lot of characters. And then he went, you know what? Fuck that. I was able to beat people with a mid-low ass tier character in fucking Smash 4. I'm being too much of a baby-backed bitch. And then he started beating everyone. He's like the 3rd best player in the world right now. 4th best player at worst, I feel like. Character's nuts. He plays a 2-stock game. I think it's hard to play because his neutral's actually not very good. He gets walled out a lot versus a lot of characters. He struggles with swords inherently, but at the same time, he struggles with swords if you play the 3-stock to 3-stock game, but a sword character's like, at go, you're losing against Wario. The only thing you can do versus Wario, either hard rush him down or literally hard camp him and not give a fuck about walk. Those are the only options you have. Every matchup that he loses, he doesn't, because he hits you with a waft. What if he hits you with 2? With IDJ, he's so stupid. Up air, now with slingshot, he can do up air slingshot and then maybe get like landing nairs, which is a, you know, at 0, which would be then a dash nair. His air drift is incredible. He has one of the best disadvantages in the game, even though he's kind of floaty, because he can just go like he air dodges and goes like it's so hard to hit him. You have to just hard guess, and it's really hard to hard guess as a lot of characters. He does lose matchups, but again, he doesn't, because he's one of the most explosive characters in the game, and people always like, yeah, man, this character beats Wario -2, like Game & Watch, because Meister's never lost to Gluto still, I think. But at the same time, it's like, oh, it's a -2? Cool, but what if you get a waft and a half every game? If he can get more than one waft, he absolutely wins. And if he gets one waft, he probably wins anyway. He's so stupid. He's a ridiculous character. Snake. Snake is one of those characters that is so hard to play consistently. Like, this character honestly is getting better results than he used to, because you have Dio from Japan who's doing better, MBD's always been doing well, and then now you have Apollo Kage who's coming up as well in the NA scene. So he has good results, but this character's so fucking hard. You always put yourself in disadvantage every time you get hit because you upbeat. Because you have to upbeat. You're not going to recover low. Recovering low gets you killed by most characters, so you recover high. It is so hard against so many characters to consistently land enough to the point where you're winning. Snake is one of the hardest matchups in the game to learn. 100%. A little too exploitable in my opinion to be top tier. Overall, it is so hard to be consistent with this character to the point where I have to put him not at a top 10 because he's so hard. He's the hardest character in the game to play consistently, in my opinion. I think Gamewatch is only -1. I think Palu's really bad, Inkling's bad, Fox is bad, Sonic is awful, Sonic shits on this character, Roy beats him, like, there's a lot of characters. Zero Suit's bad, Younglink's bad, Olimar's bad, like, this character loses to a lot of characters. He can beat them anyway because he just does a different pattern, but like, it's hard. It's really hard to beat him. No, I think Snake beats Rob, actually. Finally, for all the people that have ignored me or hated my tier lists because I've underrated a specific character, here you go. Sonic. He has like an almost unbeatable game plan versus the majority of characters. If you have a lead as Sonic, you win the game. If you don't have the lead, he deals 70 in combos. His combo game is so much better than it deserves. There's no reason for his combo game to be this good. Have you seen what Sonic's has done in Advantage? Have you seen what Ken has done in Neutral? There are so many good Sonic players as well. This character is becoming a menace. You have, of course, Georgia, which has Wrath, who doesn't go to tournaments, but Wrath is if Wrath played this game, he'd be a top 10 player. Wrath is so good. This character has the results, has the consistency. He loses matchups, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you lose a matchup unless you get a lead. In theory, he's like top 5, probably. But this isn't theory. You're gonna fuck up, you're gonna choke, you're gonna mistime your spin dashes sometimes. I think a couple of characters beat this character, but it is so hard to continue to beat this character because you're wrong like twice and you just lose, right? And this is a slight demotion from my last tier list as well. We got the plumber, we got Mario. He combos you out the ass. His neutral is incredible. He's a little slow, but he has like really good normals. He's great at recovering. He can deal with projectiles. He has a great up B out of shield, some of the best out of shield options in the game, explosive combos, death ladders, all this crazy stuff. He's just slightly worse than other characters because other characters are a bit more oppressive or a bit more broken with the lead. I think that's 14th in my list right now. He's great on platform stages. I think people definitely don't play mid-range against him well enough or don't juggle him well enough as well. Everything else is like -2 for no reason. Like if you just do short hop bear, like the second bear is -2 or 3, which is dumb. He's a little bit susceptible to parries, and he's a little bit susceptible to playing better mid-range. And there are characters with better combos than him. But overall, he's really stupid. The best character in the game, but he's big, Rob. He does lose a lot of matchups, but again, like Wario, he doesn't actually lose those matchups. If you are a character that can hit combos on people and they die at 0, you don't lose many matchups in this game. It doesn't matter how bad your disadvantage is if you can just fucking fast fall air dodge. Or you can just gyro off of the stage, like bounce it off the stage, grab it, and then you have a gyro to get out of disadvantage. He gets comboed. Rob's broken. You can't ignore the fact that Rob is broken when literally almost every single Rob player is like, yeah, I barely play this game, but you know what? I lose all these matchups. It's like, you don't fucking study. You don't know anything. The best Robs don't do the combos. The only Rob that is good and does the combos is Anathema. But Zomba, the best Rob, doesn't do the combos. Zachary, who actually is the best Rob, doesn't do the combos. Waddy doesn't do the combos. Big Boss kind of does the combos, but not really. This character has potential out the ass, and literally every single fucking Rob is too goddamn lazy to learn the most broken shit in the game, and I don't understand why. The Rob player base infuriates me, because they have everything at their disposal, and the only one that fucking does anything is Lucretio and Yopopo. Everyone else is a baby back bitch. Anathema's fine. He has one of the best neutrals in the game with down tilt. He has forward air. He has great camping. Not in terms of like, I'm gonna laser you and gyro, because the projectiles aren't actually good, but like just at playing mid-range. There are more Robs than any other good character, so it's a super relevant matchup, and everyone's just lazy. Leo's literally playing Rob to help Big Boss get better. Every single Rob player is a lazy asshole, and I hate it. Number 12. We have another demotion from my last tier list. Gamewatch. Swords are becoming way too relevant in this meta. You see more Clouds, you see more Lucinas, you see more Steves, you see more Roys, you see more Aegis. Every single matchup that Gamewatch struggles with is becoming more and more relevant. So right now in the meta, he's losing relevance. There are so many players that just play a combination of characters that can beat Game & Watch. Nothing inherently got worse about Game & Watch. It's just the meta shifted to, oh my god, it's a sword and a sword and a sword and a sword and Gluttony and a sword and a sword and ESAM. And like, that's the meta. You still have Mars who can give him trouble. Literally, there's like 3 top Roy players. There's Steves that are difficult for Meister. Random niche matchups like Ice Climbers. Like Fox was supposed to be a great matchup for Game & Watch. I always thought it was even, and then Light started being like, hey, what if I just camp? Like, if you have speed, or you have range, and you have an okay disadvantage, you can play the Game & Watch matchup. You just have to play like a super lame-o, and people weren't willing to play like a super lame-o versus Meister, and then they were like, yeah, we're tired of losing to this guy, so we're gonna play like super lame-os. So they play like super lame-os and they win. Game & Watch Roy's even Cola thinks he loses. He can be delusional, that's fine. I'm fine with top players being wrong. Top players don't know shit. Everyone is bad at this game, it's fine. And that's including me, I get you wrong too. Let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong. While you're done, don't forget to subscribe. Hey, Game & Watch is incredible, super good character. And number 11 is Wolf. I think Wolf is overrated. The thing about Wolf is he's exploitable, right? Kind of like Rob, a little different than Rob, but he's super exploitable. I think it is really, 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 really hard for Wolf to play the game that they need to play overall all the time, because Wolf can get punished, has a bad recovery. Wolf has to play perfect all the time, and Wolf isn't putting you in crazy guesses. He's not unreactable-ing you. He's not doing anything. He's just playing very solid. He's a better Lucina. He's just very solid and has good combos and a good grab. But if you mess up anything, Wolf can't force his way into you. He can't force aggression. He can't force camping. He's just playing mid-range. So if your character struggles against mid-range, Wolf is gonna body your character. That's fine. You have to just be playing perfect. And also, his stuff isn't that safe on shield. It's safe on shield, but a lot of the ways the Wolves do their aerials actually aren't that safe on shield. -4, -5, they never do late nairs, so that's never gonna happen. -6 is good, but that's gonna be added shielded by a lot of relevant characters. Backer is like -4 if you do it correctly, and upper is -5. So you don't, it's not like you're having -2, -3s where it's just like hard guess. It's just like, oh, if you parry Wolf aerial, you're actually just gonna hit him for free like every single time. He has a good empty jump, so you're not always gonna parry him. Like his empty jump's actually incredible, probably the best thing about him. He's not as broken as everyone thinks he is. For a long time I was like, Wolf isn't that good, and then I was like, you know, maybe everyone's right. Wolf is like 4th. And then I was like, actually, f that. I know more about this game than every other goddamn person in the world, which is why you're watching my video. 11 versus 5 doesn't really matter. They're basically the same character. It's like top 3, the rest of top tier. Wolf outside of top 10. And that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. We're gonna do top 10 in the next video. Let me know what do you think the order of the top 10 is, because you know the characters, and yes, I did put me Brawler in there. You'll see that in the next video. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.
Pikachu busted.